What's happening, troops? Welcome back to your weekly dose of nostalgic goodness. I am Liam, joined as always by bestest bud in all the world, Nick.
Hello, we are live. Please don't say finger in my bumhole.
Oh, it's changed it this time. We are broadcasting live on Twitch here at twitch.tv/RetroGakAttack. This is where you can catch the raw, uncut versions of RGA before it gets a lovely edit and makes its way onto our YouTube channel. YouTube.com/@RetroGakAttack. Can't forget that at symbol because YouTube is stupid. RGA is also available in audio form on all the major poddy platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc., etc. And they're all available through our Buzzsprout page, rga.buzzsprout.com. Find the poddy platform that suits you best. What are we talking about today, Nicholas?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a little reveal of Grand Theft Auto 6 next week. Next week.
I thought about this the other day. I say the other day, it was yesterday because it got announced yesterday.
It got leaked.
I'm pretty sure.
Some knobhead leaked it.
Is that what it was? I thought they came out and said, we're announcing something.
No, some knobhead had leaked out that was the plan to, is it The Guardian and someone?
I don't know.
And so they just ran with the report and just dropped it out there, and the Rockstar were like, well, we kind of have to now say that we're going to do it now because someone's already put it out.
But I noticed the wording doesn't actually say Grand Theft Auto 6.
I actually didn't read the tweet, to be honest. Did it say that we're just there's an announcement?
All I read was that they're going to announce the new or the next Grand Theft Auto game. I think I was thinking about this yesterday, and I think it would be hilarious if it was some dodgy mobile phone card
Grand Theft Auto London.
Yeah, some shit like that. It's not even Grand Theft Auto 6. I would find that hilarious.
Oh, that would be such a big, massive, fuck you, double finger sort of, to everyone.
Yeah, considering for, the last 4 or 5 years, people have been waiting for the next GTA 6
Do you know what the worst thing is? It's the ferocity of, the fans. They rile themselves up, every couple of months. The trailer's happening now. The Rockstar will put out something on social media, and it's like, that's a hint to the next Grand Theft Auto trailer release, and it's like, what?
It'll come when it'll come, won't it? That's people need to chill out with these new Grand Theft Auto games and stuff. It's not like GTA 5 has suddenly become outdated and crap. It's still going 10 years later.
I know, and it's still phenomenal.
Yeah, they're still updating it constantly.
I know.
So the reason GTA 6 has taken so long is because GTA 5 was so good that they've managed to keep it going for 10 years.
They had to wait for a next generation console to be able to. Do you know what I mean? Because they literally, what was it? PS3 that originally came out 10 years ago. And then when the PS4 came out, you got your upgrade. And then PS5, it's like, well, do you know what?
Do it again.
Upgrade it still. We'll do it again. We'll bring it with us. We'll bring it forward. And they didn't need to work on. I know they've been working on the GTA 6 for God knows how long, but they didn't need to because 5 did the job so well. So.
Yeah, and because of the GTA Online thing, that's what keeps it going. And, you bring your own character into it.
They make the money.
Do what you want to do as your own guy.
Yeah,
it's better
people
than
buying them Megalodon credit cards.
Oh, yeah.
About £100 a pop.
Yeah, it's stupid, isn't it? I mean,
people pay him. That's it.
Well, that's the thing. People moan about microtransactions and that, and they're the ones spending the money. I can't believe they make us do this. Take my money. There you go. Give me the fake money on the Grand Theft Autos.
Yeah. It's not like you can just do missions and earn money in game. You just need to buy more money.
Yeah, play the fun game to earn the money.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my days! But we're not talking about GTA 5. We're journeying further back.
Ooh.
Back to the days of the PlayStation 2.
20 years ago.
It is the year 2002.
2002, yeah.
So, 21 years ago. Maths.
Good maths.
Good maths, that. Good maths for a very good game. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So even though we could easily have talked about 3. Do you want to do a quick little rundown of 3? Unless you want to say it, I don't think it's worth.
Well,
saying
to be
it,
honest, right, like, technically, Grand Theft Auto Vice City was actually supposed to be DLC.
I read that earlier.
Yeah,
It was supposed to be a follow-on from 3,
it's
just
supposed to be
set in Miami.
an add-on pack. Yeah, an add-on pack for the stuff that they were working on during 3, but they couldn't get it finalized in time for the main game.
So it wasn't.
No, I mean,
it wasn't that
could.
long after 3, was it? A year?
It was 9 months. It took them
9
months. 9 months to make Vice City.
Mental.
Like that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like they already had the engine and everything from 3.
No, but there were plenty of little upgraded details in that to make it the next game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can do a quick 3 if you want,
Yeah, just
or I mean, you can save it for its own episode. You're the boss. I'm here for the ride.
you're just here for the ride.
Whether it's long and hard or soft and slow, wherever we do.
I prefer it long and hard, you know me. No, we'll just do a little, because I like the idea of we do Vice City today, and then we do San Andreas next month, and then we can talk about this trailer for potentially Grand Theft Auto 6 when that comes up.
Okay.
But 3 was the first big one, wasn't it? It was the first 3D. It was to me, it was like the pioneering 3D sandbox game.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Because it was different to your Mario 64 and your Banjo-Kazooies and that. It was just you're plonked in this little world.
Yeah.
Off you pop. You go to this point on the map and you get a mission, or you can just faff about and go find some stuff. Go drive cars. Go kill people.
I always remember when my mate put it on and he put the controller in my hand, and he was just like, "Walk to the car, press triangle," and I just walked to the car and I was like, "What do I do?" And he's like, "Whatever you want."
Yeah. That's the beauty
And I was
of it.
like, what? And he's like, you can go to that guy and get a mission, or you can just drive about. And we literally drove about.
It was so
about
fun to just
4 or
drive
5
about.
hours. Yeah.
Because you didn't really you got your racing games, didn't you? I grew up playing bloody Gran Turismo and Ridge Racer and Mario Kart. So you had all the racing games.
So the proper racing games.
Yeah, but and then obviously you got Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto 2, and Grand Theft Auto London or whatever it was.
Yeah, London.
But they were. I don't want to knock
top down.
Yeah, I don't want to knock them, but they were top down, kind of dodgy driving
They were
games.
bloody good games though.
They were all right. I wasn't massive
Hard as
on
tits.
them. Hard as
Hard
tits.
as
I remember
tits.
that. But it was near impossible to drive properly in those games because you couldn't see. You had to,
Yeah, you
you were
couldn't see
limited
far
by
enough.
the top-down view, weren't you? So you couldn't see what was coming. So it was just potluck whether you got in that car and you were speeding through, and then a turn had just come out of nowhere, and then you crashed into a building and stuff. But this Grand Theft Auto 3 was the one that gave you the ability to actually look forwards and see what was coming.
Yeah.
But it was different to racing games because you got to just jump in a car and you got to go where you want.
Yeah.
Go where you want, do what you want.
You had a map that came with the inside the
Yeah, they had paper maps, didn't they?
paper map, yeah. And you had to sit there and you'd have to like, I'm here, I want to go there. What's the quickest way, whatever. And see if you had someone playing with you, and you could basically have like a co-driver.
Yeah.
You're flying down, being chased by the police, and he's like left turn in 3, 2, 1. You know what I mean? It was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah. It was just the first real sort of like freedom, the feeling of being free in a video game, because you could go anywhere and do anywhere. You just could just It was so good.
There was no other game that did a similar thing. Was that was the thing? It was.
This was the first one.
And
there's certain games in time which we've always said it brought video gaming forward.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 3 is one of those games.
Three is like a Hall of Fame worthy video game for what it brought afterwards, for everything else that came after it. So like, as good as the game is, it's super dated now, I think, when you play 3 in comparison with Vice City and San Andreas, which are also dated, but they've got the additional aspects to them. the little tweaks and
Yeah.
things that 3 needed that you didn't know
Yeah.
3 needed at the time. But they just make it that much better that 3 becomes a bit obsolete.
Yeah, yeah. The transition from that top down into 3D world that 3 made was at that time like phenomenal, and at that point it was a perfect game because it allowed for you to do everything and that. And you, as a player, yes, there were things that were frustrating, but from what it came previously to now, you let the bad things go. Joey, you gave him like a free pass, because you just knew that this is the first 3D 3D game that they've made, so you kind of give them a free pass on certain things. Whereas nowadays, the stuff that they do that they did wrong, you wouldn't accept nowadays because obviously everything's evolved from that point.
Yeah, and the thing is, when 3 came out, you didn't notice any negatives. You didn't know there was nothing negative of it because it was the first one, and you were just amazed by everything you could do in the game. Yeah. You didn't really consider the possibilities, what they could add into it. And I think Rockstar are probably one of, if not the best. They know how to improve on the next game. They know what to include, what the games are missing out on. To make the next installment always an improved version of the previous game.
Well, until we get to 4.
Yeah. Well, I'll even give 4 benefit of the doubt with, it was graphically it was a nice game for the time. They introduced the mobile phone thing, which obviously they bettered in GTA 5 and things like that. There's little.
They didn't, did they?
What didn't better?
The mobile phones in Vice City.
Yeah, but it's press a button in it. It's just press a button. I mean, where you get the little HUD
you
thing.
can interact.
The interactive. Okay. That's what I mean.
Give you that then.
Yeah. But I know they introduced the phone in Vice City and that, but it was literally a press of the button, wasn't it? Someone's ringing you, press triangle. Hello.
Hey, come on. The big fucking house. The big house brick.
It was the brick. Yeah, it's still best phone in video games. Best phone in video games. But yeah, you just knew whatever Grand Theft Auto game was coming out, you knew it was going to be better. It was going to be the up-to-date video game. I know what you mean with 4, but
it was always a case of what they're going to bring. You're going to have the game that we've just finished, played, completed, whatever, and it's going to be that plus more.
Yeah,
and it's the plus more that is what made you interested in it, and that was the hype.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's all we really need to say about 3. Really is.
Yeah, because we'll go in depth.
Yeah, you don't get Vice City without 3. You don't get San Andreas without 3. You don't get Grand Theft Auto 5 without 3.
Yeah, exactly.
So it has its place in video game history, but I think for the purpose of Retro Gak Attack, we'll just do your favorite Grand Theft Auto today, and then we'll do my favorite Grand Theft Auto in the future. And I think we have to do Grand Theft Auto 5 down the line because.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. It's 10 years old.
10 years old.
I messaged you today.
It's as old as Payday 2.
It's retro because it's on the PS3. It came out on the PS3, so that's fucking retro.
Yeah, and it's an absolute juggernaut, isn't it? I mean, where was it in that bloody top 100 games list that we did? Like 40 something.
Some 40 something. Yeah.
I mean,
unreal.
And it wouldn't be high on. It wouldn't be super high on my like favorite games ever list. Personal favorite games, but in terms of like best games ever made, it has to be top 10.
I'd put it in my top 15 easy. Yeah, easy.
Well, that's the thing. I need to give it thought for my favorites because like I couldn't put it ahead of like I don't know my little favorites like Soul Reaver and stuff like that. I prefer those games because it's just more to my taste. Yeah, but like I'm not stupid. It is a better game than Soul Reaver. This is the thing. This is my thing with like favorites and when something is actually best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You consciously know that it's 2 different lists, but there are games that will cross.
Zelda will never be high in any of my personal favorites. But when I'm talking about the best games, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
And that's my thing with GTA 5. I know how amazing it is, but there's so many other games I prefer. But Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yep.
The game is set in Vice City, Florida in 1986 and concerns the exploits of protagonist Tommy Vercetti as he rises to become Vice City's major criminal power.
Ray Liotta, rest his soul.
Ray Liotta. We'll talk about the cast because there's quite a few. There's quite a few famous faces.
Yeah.
Which was also a big deal for the time because you didn't get a lot of major stars in video games.
No. Mm-hmm.
Designed by Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games, it debuted in North America on October 27th, 2002 for the PlayStation 2 and quickly became the best-selling video game of the year. Shock horror.
I know it.
Following this success, GTA Vice City saw releases in Europe, Australia, and Japan and became available on PC and Xbox.
Yep, I played it on PC.
Did you?
It's the only ever game that I think it's the only ever game that I bought on PC.
Was it?
I actually went out and bought the disc.
Yeah. I remember I had San Andreas on PC, down the line. I don't know why I got it, because I had it on PlayStation 2 as well, but it ran so well on PC. It felt so nice on PC.
Yeah.
And you got to do mods and that.
I couldn't do the WASD.
The WAS. It was weird for me. For Grand Theft Auto, the WAS just didn't.
No.
So I had to have a pad.
I couldn't afford a pad for the PC, and if I did, it was like one of the cheap £10.
I had a cheap one. I had a mega cheap one.
so I done the arrow keys. That's what I used. The arrow keys and mouse.
Oh, that'd have blown my mind a bit.
And that's the only way I could play it. And shift was run and spacebar was like jump and all that. It was just it was ridiculous.
Shift to sprint.
Oh shit, I know.
As of April 2015, Vice City is the 4th best-selling PlayStation 2 game of all time in the US. 4th.
Ooh.
Oh, I should have read that earlier and done a bit of research.
Oh, right.
I wonder what the other what would the other 3 be? PlayStation 2.
Oh god. San Andreas. Peter, I actually don't know.
I'm gonna do a quick Googs. I want to know.
Oh, Googs
selling PS2
Googs live on the show
of all time. It did say
all
US.
Time. I was gonna say it'd probably be Final Fantasy 9.
Ugh, I hope not.
I mean, it would be. That was Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 10.
Oh, okay. That's quite funny. All 4. So the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
All start with the same 4 letters, Gran.
Oh, Gran Turismo.
You got 2 Grand Theft Autos and 2 Gran Turismos. Yeah. So San Andreas is like comfortably number 1.
Yeah.
17.33 million. Number 2 is Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, amazing game, 14.89 million. Third is Gran Turismo 4, 11.76 million. And then Vice City, 10.5 million. Final Fantasy 10 5th.
I knew it was thereabout.
Wow.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot for a game they've made in 9 months.
Yeah. Bloody hell, yeah. Where was I now? Yeah, that's it, really. Best-selling PS2. 4th best-selling PS2 game of all time. And it has since been ported to iPhones and stuff, which is mental.
Android,
iPhone, and the infamous Definitive Edition, which I didn't play.
Let's not talk about.
Yeah, I only played 3. I only played a bit of 3 because I wanted to work my way through them.
Ooh. Well, they're just that bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. That's what happens when you hand another game studio that has not ever made a game before remastering thing. Yeah.
Yeah, not the smartest move.
Oh Christ! Look at this, right on fucking cue.
Hey.
Right, I know.
Hello.
Again, right? Okay, 2 seconds. It's not got a house keys.
Oh Jesus!
Doesn't have fucking house keys.
Yeah, it would normally help when you've got house keys for the house. No, it's just me on my own talking about Grand Theft Auto. or it gives me an opportunity to say San Andreas is absolutely the best Grand Theft Auto game. Even though technically, like the conversation we were having earlier, Grand Theft Auto 5 is the best Grand Theft Auto game, but my favourite San Andreas, and it is better than Vice City, regardless of what Nick will have you know. But there you go.
She will grace us with her presence shortly.
Lovely. I was just talking about how much I love Vice City.
I mean, obviously, you having to say that means that you wouldn't. So
I do love it though. I have a lot of fond memories of playing this on my Sweeney Todd in the little game room, my dad's attic, back in the day, back in the long old time of 2002. Yeah, I'm surprised I was allowed Vice City, to be honest.
I mean, I was 2002. I mean, I was 17, so yeah, it's fine.
It's all right for you. I was 11.
Yeah.
So I was still, experimenting with things and learning about things.
To be honest, it's not that bad in terms of blood and gore. Was it an 18 when it came out? I don't think.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was absolutely.
Was
18.
it?
Oh yeah, it was absolutely an 18, or an M for mature.
Yeah, I was gonna say M for mature, but even then, yeah, I suppose.
It was. I think if you look back at it now, it doesn't look that bad, but back in 2002, it was probably pretty grotesque and gory. You can do headshots. I think when you do headshots in Vice City, the heads disappear, don't they? And the blood spurts.
The blood spurts up. Yeah, no, it would have been 18.
Lots of sexual innuendo in it as well.
And also when you get the chainsaw and you think the blood spurts up on the screen. Yeah, no, it would have been 18.
It was. I think you're a bit too used to the way things are now, like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, which is like actual grotesque.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just it was a very controversial game back in the day.
I'm surprised your mum and dad let you play it.
I don't even know if they knew. I don't know. Because
they were just like, oh, it's the next big game. You're okay.
Yeah, but I remember them telling me absolutely not with San Andreas. We've heard about this game. You are not having it. And then they gave in within a couple of months. But, there you go. But it was just... It was that game. When San Andreas came out, I not long started secondary school, and it was the game that everyone had. And it was the talk.
It was the game
of school for months.
Yeah.
I don't remember people talking about Vice City much, but I think it was just that age. I was a bit too young for it, but I was just a naughty boy. Right. I think the best place to start with...
Mm-hmm.
No, should we talk? We'll first talk about our experience. Your likes and dislikes of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. What are your memes?
So I hold this game in very high regard because I think it is a wonderful love letter to the greatest decade that has ever happened on God's green earth. It's
the 80s for people that don't know.
Well,
there will be special kids out there that
I suppose there will be.
The year 2010s, I don't know that.
But it blends two of probably the greatest 80s sort of like, what's the word? The pop culture of Scarface and Miami Vice.
Yep.
And it just weaves them together and makes this beautiful, awesome game that is very different to its predecessor because it now has an actual story with other people, with other characters.
Yeah.
You on GTA 3, you are essentially on your own doing missions for other people, whereas with this, you actually have people with you. And that in itself is a big difference between 3 and Vice City.
It was a bit of mishmash, wasn't it? The story in 3, it was just it went a bit all over the place with like the Yakuza, and then with some other gang, and then they don't like each other, and then Vice City had a much better story.
It was a concise story that used elements from both Miami Vice and Scarface, and you had purpose, you had and so you would play through that and. Everything was all 80s and it looked awesome. The neon colors, Miami, Vice City is essentially Miami, and it looked amazing. The neon lights, the driving down the Sunset Strip, and you've got all the hotels and all the colours. Do you know what I mean? It was such a massive upgrade from the sort of like concrete,
Quite blandness
modern
of
day.
3.
Yes, you're in a city, and it looks like you're in a city because there's no color, there's no nothing, everything's saturated.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, color up the wazoo, neons everywhere. Do you know what I mean? You've got people like on roller skates skating down the beachfront.
Yeah.
There's just so much more.
They introduced
than 3.
mopeds as well.
Yeah, motorbikes. Yeah,
Motorbikes, boats.
mopeds. Yeah, boats, planes and helicopters. You know,
Did you ever try flying the plane? There was one plane in GTA 3.
and 3.
The
yes.
Dodo. Oh my
Yes,
god,
and
it was terrible.
The worst.
It was just sort of go, and then it'd go up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas at least with this, you actually had missions in the airplane and to fly the airplanes and stuff like that. And it just brought so much more than 3. And as you played and got them further and further and more, the islands opened up and that. You know, like even weather when it was raining.
Yeah.
You'd see the rain and you'd see the droplets on the screen. There was just loads of just tiny little things. And this game was just an absolute breath of fresh air at that point, wasn't it? You know, compared to 3, compared to a lot of the games that were out at that point.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Because at the time, like we said, there was nothing negative about 3 at the time. But then when they released this game, which, like you say, like vibrant colors, all the additions of the bikes, the boats, people on roller skates, just those little details, and you can buy businesses and stuff and build an empire. And It then made you think like, fucking hell, what was there to do in 3? Because I can't do any of this in 3. What's going on?
I know.
But yeah, and going back to potentially GTA 6, they're saying it's in Vice City, aren't they? That's the room. Imagine what it looked like now. Because like when I had a little faff on it when I downloaded the iPhone version of Vice City, runs fine, controls like arse.
I mean, I've got it on my phone and I break it out every now and again.
It's terrible.
It's for a drive about.
It's awful. I hate touchscreen controls, man, so much.
Oh no, they are the worst. But for driving around, it's not too bad.
But I think the only thing is now, 21 years later, it looks a bit bare. The level of detail isn't there in comparison with games now, GTA 5 especially.
Yes.
So like I can't help but wonder what they could do if GTA 6 is indeed Miami or Vice City, sort of. So you get those neon-y colours and the vibrancy and stuff, the landscapes and just all that. Oh, it could be amazing.
I know, yeah. I know.
And as we mentioned earlier, famous faces voicing many of the characters.
Oh God, yes.
Including, as you said, Ray Liotta, God rest his soul, Tommy Vercetti, the main boy.
Again, Tommy Vercetti, a character that you play as him, and he is talking.
Yeah, the first time in 5 GTA games, where your character actually talks.
But I mean, if you think about it, not a lot of video games as well. But most of who you play the protagonist is quite usually silent.
Yeah.
Apart from like grunts and noises. Whereas this was like a full-fledged...
just on-screen dialogue text. So like they wouldn't have their own voice. Apart from like, really, was there anyone other than Duke Nukem where he would
say stuff,
whip out one-liners, have actual dialogue? At the time, there wasn't really.
There wasn't really much of it, Where
Metal Gear in '98.
Yeah.
That was one of the first because Hideo Kojima has to do his movie style things all the time. So he got his no famous names like what these guys got, but they
brought him some big guns like.
They did, yeah. How many do you think you can name?
Oh, I couldn't.
Famous faces that were in Vice City.
I can't.
There's a surprising amount.
So there's Ray Liotta, there's Burt Reynolds, which is the
Avery Carrington
guy. Yeah, the guy that does all the building stuff.
Yeah,
the Mexican cartel guy. I don't know his name, but essentially his face is like the actor. Can't remember his name.
Yeah, pretty
though.
much. Yeah, Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo's in it as well. Yes.
Yeah. I just spotted another name now that I didn't.
The guy the guy from Miami Vice is the one that plays Lance Vance.
Yeah, Philip Michael Thomas. I think
Yeah,
it said
so he's in the Miami Vice.
he's
one of
Ricardo.
the
He's
one of the
Ricardo
two.
Tubbs
Yeah,
of Crockett and Tubbs.
Yeah, if we got getting Tubbs. And I can't think of anyone else.
I love that though. I love that he's Lance Vance, who's like
No, he's
the
playing his own
secondary-
character.
yeah, he's like the
playing
secondary
his
character.
again. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. So the ones that I know, I'm not going to click on anyone because like I probably know a lot of their faces, but the ones I know by name, you got Dennis Hopper, who plays Steve Scott. Don't remember who Steve
Dennis
Scott is.
Hopper?
To be honest. Yeah, Dennis Hopper's in it.
No.
You've got Gary Busey.
Yes.
Gary Busey plays
He's the American guy.
Phil Cassidy.
That blows all the stuff up.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
do you remember who plays Kent Poole? The British guy?
He's in Love Fist. Is he the Love Fist singer? No.
He's the guy in the club. You do some jobs for him early on in the game.
Yeah.
in the club.
You take the club off it. Yes. Yeah.
Famous Cockney geezer. Still relevant now.
Oh God, who is it?
He was much younger back in 2002, though.
Oh, of course he would be. 20 years ago.
20 years ago, but like,
Yeah.
he wasn't very relevant back then compared to what he is now. Danny Dyer.
No way. Was it Danny Dyer?
Danny Dyer, yeah. Kent Poole.
No.
I don't know a lot of the other names. I actually thought it said Peter Kay then, but it says Peter McKay. Plays someone called Dick.
What is that? Just a dick
Maybe just a roaming penis.
on a moped, please.
Yeah. I think if you...
Rockstar, call me with an idea.
Yeah. Hey, they're looking for people for GTA 6, so...
There you go.
But yeah, you know, if they'd have just got Ray Liotta, that would have been like a big deal, and then the rest are just sort of...
It's up. I know, yeah.
But they got some big guns in for Vice City, to be fair to them.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Should we go story-wise? Like
Story-wise?
What did you think of the story? Like compared to 3, it's night and day.
It's an improvement on 3.
I think it's one of probably the most concise stories, like video game stories.
Yeah, well, like you say, it's essentially Scarface, isn't it? More than anything, like the way it unfolds at the end, especially, it's very Scarfacey. Just that Tommy survives at the end.
I mean,
Spoilers
it starts
for
that
Scarface.
Tommy comes out of jail after a 15-year stint.
Yeah,
and the guy it's Sonny, isn't it, from Grand Theft Auto 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he works with Sonny from Grand Theft Auto 3, who sends him down to do a job, and it goes wrong, and he loses the money. So he has to try and find out who's basically crossed him, get the money back, to give back to Sonny.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Sonny's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And in doing so, meets Lance, who his brother had been murdered by the same gang that thingy Tommy.
Yeah.
So the two of them team together to try and find out who it is, and in doing so, Tommy ends up by building an empire, and does jobs for all the local sort of gangs, diplomats, businessmen, and building his empire. And then when he's finally built his empire, it turns out that it was Sonny that set the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Because the reason that he'd went to jail was something like that. It was something to do with the reason that he'd went to jail, but Sonny had set him up again. And Lance, spoilers, had also thingied Lance, so Lance betrayed you as well. And essentially in a Scarface way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the story in a nutshell, isn't it, really?
Yeah, you remember it way better than I do. But the most I remember is the end, because it is like... It was
that's the footnotes. That is the footnotes, because there is more in-depth stuff, isn't there? The reason you're helping with the business, but
it's a big game. You get loads of different missions from loads of different people.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah. I mean, you get missions for the stuff that you buy as well, the properties that you buy.
Yeah, and that's good.
Which also adds to it. There's a lot of side missions as well. Like the story is such a really good in-depth story, but the amount of stuff that they've put in this game is unreal. Like all the side missions.
Yeah. I just loved doing all the missions and stuff in the game. Like as much as you can, just free roam and do your own thing. I find it a bit harder to do that nowadays because it feels like there's less to do in these older GTA games compared to GTA 5. So like, I'm happy to just, I get plonked in, just go to whatever mission he's doing. I'll go and do it because that's the game, isn't it? That's essentially the game is doing the missions, and then by doing the missions, get a bit of money, explore more of the island, and that you unlock more of the island.
Yeah.
It never felt like the biggest map, Vice City. I never felt like 3. I think 3 possibly has a bigger map. Not saying that it's better, but
I think it's more connected because you've got all the underground. You can get around a lot easier in 3.
Yeah.
With all the interconnecting sort of like not subways, but the tunnels underground.
Yeah.
And it was, I think it may have been bigger, but I think the islands on Vice City were a bit more.
They're more interesting.
They're more populated, more densely populated. There's a lot more in them.
Yeah, there's more detail to the world in Vice City,
Yes.
so it doesn't necessarily have to be bigger. But which we will do in future, when you compare it to San Andreas is fucking massive,
Phenomenal.
It's still. I don't think they've made a bigger map than San Andreas. Like, I don't even know if 5 doesn't feel bigger than San Andreas to me. I know it's technically the same.
Oh, it's technically the same,
but it doesn't have the Las Vegas bit.
Yeah, I was going to say there's different parts of it, wasn't there?
There was 4 quarters to San Andreas.
Yeah.
Which, and they were all massive quarters in their own right. Whereas 5 felt like just a whole. It just feels like a whole
one big area.
You've got your city at the bottom, and you've got your more open country at the top.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They've never managed to make a map that feels as big as San Andreas, and I feel like Vice City has one of the smaller ones.
It does.
And 3.
Yeah.
I can't remember. 4 was Liberty City again, wasn't it?
Yes.
So 3, but slightly more expanded, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. I like how you start on one island, and the bridges are out of commission because of the hurricane.
Oh, it's how it is, a hurricane.
It's a hurricane because obviously it's Miami, isn't it? It's right in the center of bloody hurricane season, isn't it? So you have to do a lot of stuff on that first island first before the hurricane passes, and you can go on to the second island, because it is just the 2. And the second island is a lot bigger. There's a lot more, and then you've got your airport, the bloody stadium. There's 2 big sort of like town areas. There's a lot more on that second island.
Yeah.
And then you've got on the right hand side of the first island, you've got the shopping mall, and also the little sort of mini island in between the 2, where it had the movie studio.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't tend to go down that. I never remember really much going down to the shopping centre or that part of the island or the mini one, unless I had to for a mission.
Yeah, I always remember a mission in the mall, the shopping mall, where you've got to take a minigun into the shopping mall and destroy all the windows.
Yes.
I just remember that was hard. That was a really hard mission because, like the thing with the old GTA games, it was a timed mission. It didn't give you enough time, and you had to I think you had to destroy every window in the mall within that time with a minigun, which you trot about with because it's so heavy. So I just remember that just being so hard. So I think you'd start the mission in the estate, so on the little island on the bottom, the Scarface house, the main house.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got the mission there, so you'd have to journey from there all the time. All the way up to the mall, and then the timer starts, and you get 20 seconds. Break all the windows, go! I just remember having a hard time with that mission.
I mean, it is a hard game. I mean, 3 is infinitely harder.
Yeah,
but there are some hard missions in Vice City.
I think Vice City has the most infamous hard mission. I think what most people would consider the hardest mission with
Is that the helicopter?
the remote control helicopters. I never had a lot of issues with that one.
I never had issues.
I was
all
all right with that one.
Yeah, once I got the hang of flying it, it was very much
think-
like you get tactical. Do you know what I mean? You use your head.
I think
You
that
can't
was the
just go in
thing,
full
though.
thingy.
I
full
think it
heli.
was the fact that it wasn't until San Andreas you really got to fly choppers, and they didn't perfect.
They perfected the flight.
Yeah,
Yes.
they figured out how you could fly the game and make it fun and playable.
Yeah.
Whereas this demolition mission with the remote control helicopters in Vice City was the
it's
first
putting the
time in a
bombs
Grand
down,
Theft Auto game where you got to fly a chopper.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that it was a Diddy chopper in a construction yard, and you had to carry these bombs and drop
Up
them in barrels or
staircases.
something.
Yes. Yeah.
So like,
You had to place them. Yeah.
it
place
did
them down.
it did require a bit of precision with where you place them.
Yeah. I mean, and there were also guys with bloody
Shooting at
crowbars
you,
as well that would
oh, yeah,
attack you as well.
crowbars, that's
So,
it, yeah. And
it
it was
was
probably timed. I'm just going to take a wild stab in the dark.
I
It was
think so,
timed.
actually, probably most likely, yeah.
Either timed or like there was a damage meter on your helicopters and you had limited amount.
Yeah.
That was the thing with these old Grand Theft Auto games. They had ways like that, timed damage, where it made these missions friggin' hard.
Yes.
And you couldn't just beat them willy-nilly.
And obviously with the controls, they didn't have the flight down at
Yeah.
that point. So, yeah, it was a lot harder to
It was
fly.
a bit dodge. But
Yeah.
something I do want to talk about, though, which we have to talk about when it comes to Grand
Okay.
Theft Auto,
Oh, my God.
is the music.
Oh, don't.
Radio stations.
Can we just say it now, right now? It's probably the best collection of music in any of the Grand Theft Autos.
As an entire package, I would
Every station.
probably agree with you. Mm-hmm. I prefer other radio stations in San Andreas just because that's my jam.
Yes,
But-
but for the number of stations in San Andreas, you could only really listen to like.
There was
or
three.
three.
Yeah, there was three
Yeah.
I listened to. Like, whereas I think
whereas
with
my city, you get in any car, whatever
comes on,
radio station
yeah,
is a good
I'm with you there.
station. And I've even got the albums.
That's pretty cool.
They are
pretty cool,
amazing.
yeah.
They are amazing.
So you've got. We'll test your knowledge then. Wild Style.
Nice. Wild Styles, that was the sort of hip hop, sort of like what's it called? No.
This is from the GTA wiki, so this is how
Okay,
legit.
well, it's hip hop. Anyway.
So you're right, yeah. It's hip hop and electro.
Electro, yes.
So you've got the likes of Run DMC. He's the other one I know here, so I'll just name a few: Trouble Funk, Davey DMX, Cybertron, Hashim,
Cybertron,
Herbie
that's
Hancock,
it.
Africa Bambaataa, and the Soul Sonic Force.
Yep.
Two Live Crew, Mantronics, Tyrone Brunson, Houdini, Zapp and Roger, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Curtis Blow, and Man Parrish. Some tunes there.
Yeah.
Flash FM.
Pop.
Yeah, it's just pop.
That's my favorite one, Flash.
Really?
The woman presenter. Yeah, the woman presenter was so funny on it.
Hosted by
I remember her
Tony.
name though. Tony, that's it.
So you got Hall and Oates. Hall and Oates. That's the heavy metal version. They love porridge. Wang Chung, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. It's got a star on it though.
Yeah. Billie Jean, yeah. It's not in all the releases.
Yeah, that's
Licensing.
yeah. Michael, Laura Branigan, Go West, In Excess, Brian Adams, ELO, Yes, The Bugles, Annika, Talk, The Outfield, Joe Jackson, The Fix, and the main man I was listening to him earlier, Lionel Richie. K-Chat is a talk station, no music.
Talk show, yeah.
I never really bothered with them.
With
you know,
with Laszlo.
Is it Laszlo?
Yeah, because he's in all the chat ones.
Yeah.
Apart from 5 where he's on the TV.
Fever 105.
Is that not the Latin America?
Nope.
Oh, what's Fever 105?
Ooh, what's Fever 105?
I don't remember.
Disco, soul, funk, and R&B.
Oh, no.
The Whispers, Fat Larry's Band, Oliver Cheatham, Pointer Sisters, love the Pointer Sisters. Renee and Angela, Mary Jane Girls, Rick James, Michael Jackson again on certain releases. Evelyn Champagne King, Tina Marie, M-Tomb, Kool and the Gang, In Deep.
Kool and the Gang.
And next up was, you'll be shocked to hear the one I listened to, V-Rock.
Oh, I wonder what that is.
Hard rock and heavy metal.
Yes, they had some bloody good rock songs.
Oh, yeah. They had Iron Maiden, so that was it for me. They had 2 Minutes to Midnight, Iron Maiden, so.
Yeah, that's it. 2 Minutes to Midnight.
Twisted Sister, I Wanna Rock, I Wanna Farm.
I Wanna Rock, yeah. I Wanna Farm.
Motley Crue, Quiet Riot, The Cult, Ozzy Osbourne, Love Fist. Iron Maiden, Loverboy, Alcatraz, Tesla, Autograph, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer, Judas Priest, Love Fist, David Lee Roth. So they had all the thrash bands apart from Metallica.
Yes,
that'll be down to
that's probably the licensing.
That'll be Lars Ulrich not wanting to let him have music. You had VCPR, Vice City Public Radio.
The radio, yeah.
Talky one. You had Radio Espantoso. That was your Latin one. Would that be the Latin American one? That's the Latin and American one, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you fancy a laugh? Translations for the titles?
Oh Christ, no. But go
Radio on. Espantoso. You had Cachao, Alfa Banditos, Tres Apenas, Como Eso, Deodato, Mongo Samata Maria, Makito and his Afro-Cuban orchestra.
Ooh.
Unesta, Lonnie Liston Smith, Iraquere, Deodato, Javier Cugat, Benny Moore, Tito Puente.
Yo Puente.
Lovely. Emotion.
I mean, it's safe to say that it's probably the least listened to radio station.
Yeah, I don't think anyone bothered with
Emotion.
that. Emotion 98.3.
Is that not more? Is that soft pop?
Yeah, soft pop, power ballads, and soft rock.
Yeah.
So you had Foreigner, Kate Bush, Squeeze.
Bonnie.
Bonnie?
Doesn't have Bonnie in it, does it? No, Bonnie's not in Vice City.
No, this was hosted by Fernando Martinez.
Yeah. Oh, he was good as well, actually, yes. Talking about making love to your partner and that. I remember them. Yeah.
Squeeze, REO Speedwagon, Curtain Crew, Roxy Music, Toto, Mr.
Toto, Africa. Oh, God.
Yeah, tune. John Waite.
Best song ever made.
Ever?
Toto, Africa.
Ever?
No matter what situation in life, if you put Toto Africa on, mate, that just...
It's tune. But you know, I said Iron Maiden were on before. That was a better song.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. I will fight everyone
especially
with a pitchfork.
23:58. It's perfect time to listen to 2 Minutes to Midnight, isn't it? And then Jan Hammer, Night Ranger, Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross.
And
do you know my neighbour in my old house? She used to put Luther Vandross on every Saturday because it reminded her of her dad, and she'd get drunk and we could hear her cry through the wall.
Oh no!
She totally ruined Luther Vandross now for me.
Jesus.
I know.
That's a bit worrying.
Oh. God.
We got one more. Do you remember the last one?
No.
You will want to say it.
Well, go on.
Wave 103.
Oh, Wave 103.
This is what I was listening to yesterday when I was playing it on the phone. I got Gary Newman, Cars came on.
Cars, that's such a good fucking song as well.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
Is that your new wave stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, new wave synth pop, post-punk. Human League, Blondie, Nina, Kim Wilde, Tears for Fears, Corey Hart, ABC, Flock of Seagulls, The Psychedelic
Seagulls,
and Emotion, Spandau Ballet, Gold, Thomas Dolby, Romeo Void.
So we are in agreement then that
as a total package,
yeah,
because
it's the best.
I only really listened to 2 stations on 3.
And I only listened to 1.
Head Radio.
And Rise.
Oh, see, I didn't listen to Rise, you know. Head Radio and Lips 106.
Lips 106, yeah. Just because of the shooters.
Yeah.
The Grand Theft Auto song. But no, right, for me, Rise FM. 6 songs mixed into just one looped playlist.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's such. I've actually downloaded the tracks, made it into one song, and just had it as as one file. Rise FM's awesome.
I'll have a
So
quick
good.
Google to that.
The thing on the Wheels of Steel. Oh yeah, the Rise FM's like one of my favorite radio stations on a Grand Theft Auto game.
But like the rest,
on all of them, yeah,
the rest
like
weren't
totally
great.
one of my favorites.
Head Radio was good.
Mm-hmm.
Were these all like made up songs for the game?
Most of them, yes.
Yeah.
Apart from it's not called Gang Shooters, and I can't remember. Definitely something Shooters, and they did the Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Da Shooters.
Da Shooters, yeah. They made the song for Grand Theft Auto song.
Then
And that's a fucking thingy. But Rise
FM.
Yeah.
Chris Walsh and Dave Beran. Shiver, RRDS, and then 2 Slider songs.
Yeah. And it's dance. But yeah, it's funny. It's just they just loop the same songs over and over again, and it's like a 10 minutes in the whole long. But I love it. It's totally 10 minutes of pure joy. Like
it did the job for GTA 3, didn't it? That's the thing.
Again, look at the contrast with like the music in 3. There's probably like 6 different songs on the radio station
per station, whereas
Vice City is like absolutely fucking jammed with music.
Yeah,
jammed.
And it was not knocking 3. It was proper music, wasn't it? It's songs you could stick a radio station on and you probably recognize the song that comes on.
Yep. And I think that's probably the key point with this game. If this game didn't have that licensed 80s music, it would still do incredibly well. But the fact that you can get in a car and then Toto Africa comes on and it's the full song and you can drive around to that just makes this game exponentially more better.
Yeah.
As the music, do you know what I mean? I think the whole GTA franchise kind of lived and died on this game.
Yeah. Because
if it didn't have that licensed music, it wouldn't have propelled Grand Theft Auto to like the heights. That it, you know what I mean? It would have just been another. It's a Grand Theft Auto 3-2.
Yeah.
It didn't elevate it to the whole public. You know, all the video games people that play games, they would still play it, but it's like if we're playing it and someone's like, hey, that's 80s music, that's awesome. Do you know what I mean? And then that's someone else that might not necessarily play video games, might go and buy Grand Theft Auto Vice City because it's got 80s music that they relate to, and I do think that might potentially be like it's the pinnacle on. If GTA carried on, if it survived or not, is down to Vice City, and I think the music is what makes it.
Vice City was the first follow-up game, wasn't it? Like of the 3D Grand Theft Auto games. Obviously, it's the fifth one, but this was the one that sent it to sent Grand Theft Auto to the moon. It was this was the game. This Grand Theft Auto was the dawn of 3D. Sandbox free roaming games, and then they have to do it with everyone as well now. It's as big an improvement as Vice City was, San Andreas has to be the next big improvement, 4 has to be the next big improvement, 5 and then ultimately whatever this next one's going to be. Funny if it's not 6.
GTA Mobile.
Oh, gutted. I'll be there laughing
GTA
at you all.
RPG.
I'll be there laughing. It won't bother me, to be honest. I'll buy it. I'll buy GTA 6 when it comes out, but I will not be asked if it ends up being GTA 6 the card game.
Oh, God.
Do you remember any of the Easter eggs in the game?
Oh, there's a room in a hotel that says that you should not be here or something.
There's an actual Easter egg.
And there's a giant egg. There is actually a giant egg as well. Yeah.
Like, I wanted to Google this. Was this the game that started off Easter eggs? The term.
I don't think it was. No.
I don't know where the term
Easter eggs
came from.
Easter eggs. There's Easter eggs in games like back on the bloody.
I know that.
And all that sort of stuff.
I know there's secrets, but did they refer to them as Easter eggs? That's the thing.
I don't know. You'd actually say, what you'd have to Google like where did the term Easter
Yeah,
egg
the
come
term has to come from somewhere, and it's just the fact that
Yeah.
Vice City had
Had
a
a big
room
giant egg in
with a
it,
big
yeah.
giant Easter egg that says Happy Easter on it.
Yeah.
Where does the term Easter egg originate?
I'd be very surprised that if it made reference to the Vice City egg.
In games.
Oh, it's gonna give you all the fucking Christian shit, isn't
God,
it?
Jesus. Yeah, I had to specify games. Oh God, this might take me a while.
Yeah.
I'll look it up for
We'll come back
future.
to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe in San Andreas episode I'll have an
'Cause,
answer.
they've got a good one where it's on top of the bridge,
The
isn't
Golden
it?
Gate Bridge, yeah.
Yeah. How did you get up here?
Yeah, it's like you shouldn't be up here. I love little things like that. It's stupid, but like it's funny, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I found that without, like
Knowing it
hearing
was
it,
there.
without
Yeah.
knowing about it. I was just wandering with the jetpack,
Yeah.
and you just find that, and it's just funny.
I know.
I've never actually seen the Vice City Easter egg though. I've seen people do it, but I've not done it myself.
What did you think of the? Because obviously, it was a lot more stat based than 3, and you had to do the missions on the police car, ambulance, fire engine, and you also had the pizza moped delivery. Did you do any of them at the start of the game to kind of buff your own stats?
I didn't realize you could buff your own stats with them.
Did you not?
No.
So if on the shooting range as well, there's a shooting range. So if you do the shooting range and hit all the targets, you get a faster reload for all your weapons.
Yeah.
Doing the pizza delivery gives you 50 more health. Doing the fire ones means that you can't get set on fire.
That's decent.
Ambulance is what was the ambulance one? Can't remember. There's the vigilante one with the police cars that gives you 50 points in your body armor as well. And they were like, it's the same as what's in 5 and 4. You start off like level 1 and then work your way level 2, and it gets progressively harder. I think you have to get to like level 15 or something like that. At which point it's bloody hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Vice City was such a hard game, like I always try to do all of those kind of things first.
Buff yourself up straight away.
Especially because you're locked into the one island. See, if you did the story, and you opened up all the islands, you'd be in one place, and then all of a sudden you've got to deliver a pizza on the fucking other end of the. Do you know what I mean? So I always tried to do it when you were locked in that first island to try and get all your stats buffed up. But it was really hard, especially the vigilante stuff with the police, because obviously you're killing people.
I would only ever do the vigilante stuff in 3 when I had the tank.
Yeah. Well, this was the thing is you kind of need a tank, but the problem is in Vice City the only way to get the tank is to find 90 of the 100 hidden packages.
Is it?
There's no way. Yeah, there's no way to unlock it in Vice City. So you were kind of like knackered.
Yeah.
And you had to try and do it, and I couldn't do the vigilante ones because once you get to like level 5 or 6, you go up to like 3-4 stars, and at that point like the police are fucking absolutely they're relentless. Yeah. You're trying to kill a guy and you're trying to aim, and you've got like police cars just like slamming into the side of you, and it is impossible.
I used to have a lot of fun doing the taxi, driving around the taxi.
Yeah, yes, the taxis, yes.
Because it was the driving was what was fun in these Grand Theft Auto games. So like earning a bit of quiche by just doing a bit of driving. Happy days. I used to live on the taxi service thing on 3. I remember that. Yeah.
And there was the races in Vice City. You could steal, get yourself a good fast car and do the races.
I don't remember doing the races in Vice City. So that San Andreas, I think San Andreas had a really good thing with the races much later into the game. So the San Andreas is where I did a lot of races.
Yeah, you could also go into the stadium as well, and it was Destruction Derby.
Oh, cool!
But it was just a circle track, so you had to do laps. But yeah, you could like smash people up in that as well, which was pretty good.
Yeah,
There was so much. It was just
That was
infinitely more stuff in Vice City than there was in 3.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
actually
beauty of
talking
it.
about it. You don't realize how incredible,
Yeah.
how much stuff they put in.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. You can still, even though it's it's a bit dated now and it feels a little bit bare now in comparison with the later games, you can still just jump on Vice City
Stuff.
and have a whale of a time.
Yeah.
Because I think
Oh no, you could do, yeah.
if I didn't have it on the phone, I could easily reinstall it on the PlayStation or even that definitive edition shite. It's still Vice City and it's still a fun game.
Well, I mean, you can still buy the PlayStation version,
The regular
actual
version,
PS2 version. Yeah,
I
you
think
still
I've got
buy
that.
that.
I
Yeah.
think I've got that, to be honest.
Because I've got that, and I think I've got San Andreas on that as well in that version.
Yeah, and that's just the beauty of these Grand Theft Auto games. Like,
I mean, there is drawbacks because obviously with a 20-year-old game, like there is some things like the AI of characters that you have in missions are very derpy. You could be in a shootout and they could just walk in front of you and you accidentally shoot them. It's daft, I mean, there's been times where I've been in a mission and I've parked across the road and ran across the road and they've come follow me and then they've got hit by a car. And I've not even started, I haven't even got to the first start of the mission, but it's already failed because they've, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's the sort of like, if you go so far in a map and like cars don't spawn, do you know what I mean? You have to run for like 5-10 minutes sometimes for but that's the limitation of like the PlayStation and then the memory in the game. And it is going back and playing it. It kind of is a wee bit of a drawback. It does kind of take away from that game. But if you're in a populated area, it's not so bad. But once you kind of go out of that, people, gangs can just, you could be running, then all of a sudden you turn the camera, and you've got a gang spawned right in front of you where they weren't there 2 seconds. It's limitations of the PlayStation, but I mean, it's still. It doesn't for me to take anything away from the game, but I mean, you have to kind of note that it's there.
It's just minor things, isn't it? It's minor things.
Yeah, the stuff that we gave a free pass for in 3, we kind of have to give a wee little bit of a pass on this because
because again, when Vice City came out, that was the pinnacle, wasn't it? So you got 3, which was up here, and then but then Vice City turned up, and 3 sort of went, oh no, Vice City does this though, because it's got this now. And then ultimately it became San Andreas, which we'll talk about. To me it's like, but to you it won't be so much. Mate, San Andreas.
No.
I know. Blinking love that game. But we'll save that for a month. We'll save that for when this supposed trailer comes out, or around about that time when Grand Theft Auto is trendy again.
Yeah.
But until then, I think we need to give GTA Vice City a score on the super leaderboard of awesome games.
That's it. I mean, I'm just gonna give it objectively 7 out of 10.
Ooh,
700,000. I would love to give it more. I would love to give it more.
That's really low.
Yeah, you've got to think about it. It's a game 20 years old, and
take yourself back to 2002.
Right. Well, then it's a 9.5. Then isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's the problem. I've got to be subjective.
Okay,
got to be subjective. Actually, okay, 7,500. Stop bullying me.
Well, I was thinking 7.5.
Okay.
I was thinking 7.5. 7,500.
Right, well, that's what we'll do. 7,500.
Yeah. You're right. Like, if you are thinking back 2002, it's an easy, probably 9 out of 10. 900,000, easy for me.
Easy. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've got to consider. I don't know what should we be scoring these games for the time? You know what I mean? This is what's difficult.
I score them based on how much I love them, and I love this. I love this game so much, but 5 is infinitely better.
Yeah,
and 5 for me is probably a 9 out of 10 right now. and has been for the past 10 years. And Vice City doesn't have a torch against 5.
Yeah.
But if I am wanting to drive about and listen to 80s music, 10 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? Right now, for me, Vice City it's down to the music. The music is what makes Vice City so good right now. You know? Compared to nowadays.
It's the one thing that has stood the test of time for Vice City. Is the music is still phenomenal, and it will forever be phenomenal because it is what it is.
Yeah,
and I think that
the music, the aesthetics, the neon, all of that, it just works for driving about for 10 minutes, dicking about. You don't have to do anything.
No.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But objectively, controllers, missions, it's hard. You know, I mean, there's loads to do in it, and that's an amazing thing. But sometimes, you know, with the controls and
yeah,
it can detract from it.
It hasn't aged well in that sense.
No.
But like, I think, you know, saying, you know, should we score it from when it came out? Mm-hmm. The thing is, our top 3, Remake, Doom, GoldenEye, you know, 2 of them are from the 90s.
Yeah.
And they're still awesome games now. Like, there's a reason that we've put them that high.
Yeah.
GoldenEye, even Doom a little bit. You can cheat a little bit with them because they've had sort of remaster. You know, GoldenEye's had its remaster.
Yes.
Doom has been upgraded for modern consoles and stuff.
If Rockstar actually, you know, pulled the finger out the arse and actually did the remaster
Imagine what that definitive edition
could you
could
imagine?
have been.
It'd be 10.
Yeah.
Updated controllers, updated graphics, 10 out of 10.
If they GTA 5'd 3 Vice City and San Andreas, imagine that.
Don't, because I'm going to go to bed tonight with a raging boner thinking about that now.
We'll fax them. We'll fax Rockstar. But
similes.
Yeah, I think
you get what I mean.
750,000 is a fair reflection on where Vice City is now. It's not the easiest game to go back and play, but like if like us, if you're fond of the game back then, you can easily just jump on it and have a bit of fun, listen to those tunes, roam around, do a couple missions, shoot people.
Yeah. If anyone ever is listening to this and has never played it, please play it. By all means, please play it. It's such a good game, such a good story. It's just it's the controls are. But then again, it's the second time. It's the second game they released, and essentially they made it better than 3, the controllers. But it's still compared to today, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to shoot people. You know, you've got to go first person mode to be able to actually aim with the cursor. You know, it's little things like at the time we were like, oh fuck, we were in first person view. This is amazing. Yeah. But looking back, it's like that's that side of thing that just makes it harder. But yeah. We can go around in circles on this, but yeah, it's an amazing game. I love it.
It's not a knock on the game. It's just we're just being realistic.
It's a product. It's a product of the time.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's a product of the early 2000s. That's what it is. Yeah.
And on that note, that is it for the latest edition of Retro Gak Attack, Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Next time, don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll decide.
We've got some housekeeping. I've got some housekeeping.
Ooh.
with our old buddy Arth.
Any
Spider-Man message.
Well, next week, next time may have to be Bumcast 2 just so we can get that debate going. I'm going to see if I can get Arth on it. If I can get Arth on, he's not an easy boy to deal with when it comes to online stuff. But if we can have like a raging Spider-Man debate, that'll be quite funny.
So should we do like a phone-in show?
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? Be like Talk Sport. I like listening to Talk Sport.
Talk Sport.
Right, we'll figure something out anyway, bro.
Yep, that's fine. You let me know. Hit me up.
Cheers, guys.
I don't know why I'm saluting you. Love you.
See you later, salute, bro. It's part of a love.
I don't. Well, I'll salute with my penis. Never mind.
Right, love you, bye. Get following, get subscribing.
Bye.
Bye. Love you, bye.